Genesis chapter 3 from verse 15.
From verse 15. Listen very carefully, dear people.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
Elohim says, and behold, I will put enmity between thee
and the woman.
And between the woman.
And between thy seed.
I will put enmity between thee and between the woman. And I will put enmity between thy seed
and her seed.
And between the seed of the woman. So the question now is, we apologize, we were having some minor interferences. But by the mercy of Elohim, we have resolved it. Now let me go over again. Genesis 3:15. How would Elohim come in the form of a man
Genesis
to deliver his people? Genesis chapter 3 verse 15.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
Now the word enmity comes from the word animosity. I will put enmity. I will put division. I will put a fighting and a quarrel between thee and thy seed. Speaking to the serpent,
and between thy seed and her seed.
And between thy seed and her seed.
It shall bruise thy head.
Now let us stop there. It shall bruise whom? Thy head.
It shall bruise thy head. And thou shalt bruise his heel.
And thou shalt bruise his heel. So now let us stop there for a split second. Let us stop there for a split second. He says the woman's seed. Now we all know, based upon biology and science at hand, that women do not carry seed. Women carry eggs. The eggs have to be inseminated with the seed. But now he's speaking about, I will put enmity between thy seed and the woman's seed. Based upon human logic, when atheists read this verse, they go mad. And they say, that is why I hate the Bible. What a stupid book. Ridiculous. What a ridiculous book. The people who read Bible are the most stupidest people that I've ever heard. It is okay. Thank you for offending us. For the Bible said, behold, he has made that which is foolish to men. And he made the salvation of his people. Amen. For if you are looking at it from a natural, philosophical, intellectual perspective, you will say, this book has gone mad. I will just burn it and eat my jollof and nasi and mosi alesi and taba, which means goat meat. But now let us see. We're speaking about the seed of the woman. Now what is the seed of the woman? For this seed that is speaking about, he said, it shall bruise the head of Hashatan. We thank Elohim for the scriptures. For behold, Isaiah chapter 7:14. Now we are taking off. The seed of the woman. Hey, Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14.
Isaiah chapter 7, from verse 14.
Read it with pride, dear brother. Go ahead.
Therefore, Yahuwah himself
shall
give you a sign.
He shall give us a sign.
Behold.
He says, behold,
a virgin shall conceive.
Go slowly. He says, behold, a virgin will conceive.
And bear a son.
And she shall bear a son.
And shall call his name.
And she shall call his name
Emmanuel.
Stop there. What kind of sign is this? Is it not normal for virgins to conceive? What type of sign is this? For is it not normal for virgins to conceive? That is not a sign. You would think that, hey, that is not a sign. Why Isaiah speaking about a sign? Behold, a woman shall conceive. So what? Some people may think. But listen at this, what makes it so wonderful. And it shall be called
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, being interpreted. Go ahead, I'll read, continue.
Verse 15.
Verse 15.
Butter and honey shall he eat,
butter and honey he shall eat,
that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good.
that he may know to refuse the evil
And
and to choose that which is good. That is Isaiah. Now give me the book of Luke to see the fulfillment of this prophecy. Now for many of us that have not studied this very well, and sometimes when you go into discussion with Muslims and people of Islam, when you give them this verse, they will say you are mad. This is not referring to the Messiah. This is referring to the son of Isaiah, which is correct. But this prophecy is of twofold. It is both referring to the son of Isaiah, whose name was not even Emmanuel. His name was Maher-shalal Hasbaz. Maher-shalal Hasbaz. That was his name. But it is also referring to this prophecy. Give me the book of Luke. Luke chapter 1 from verse 31.
Luke chapter 1 from verse 30 and 1.
I hope you are following me very carefully. Go ahead.
And behold,
thou
shalt conceive in thy womb.
This is the Malach by the name of Gabriel, speaking unto Mary, whose name is Miriam.
Thou shalt conceive in thy womb.
Behold, thou wilt conceive in thy womb,
and bring forth a son.
And thou wilt bring forth a son.
And shall call his name.
And thou wilt call his name
Yahushua.
Yahushua. In your Bible it is written Jesus, but his Hebrew name was Yahushua. So behold, thou shalt conceive and bring forth a son, and thou wilt call him Yahushua.
And he shall be great.
And he shall be great.
And shall be called the Son of the Highest.
And he shall be called the Son of the Highest.
And Yahuwah Elohim.
And Yahuwah Elohim
shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
Shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
And he shall reign over the house.
And he shall reign over the house. What is meant by he shall give unto him the throne of his father David? Give me Psalms 132 verse 11. Foundation by foundation, I'm laying it down for you all. Psalms 132 verse 11. And then you will go back to the same Luke.
Psalm 132 verse 11.
What does it say?
Yahuwah had sworn in truth.
Yahuwah, he had sworn in truth
unto David.
Unto David. What did he say to him?
He will not turn from it.
He said he will not turn from his oath.
Of the fruit of thy body.
He said, of the fruit of thy body
will I set upon the throne.
Will I set upon the throne.
If thy children will keep my covenant.
He said, of the fruit of thy body will I set upon the throne of David. I will set of the fruit of thy body upon the throne of Israel, upon the throne of Zion. For the throne of David is the throne of Zion. And David was simply a representation of the king that was to come. Even as David sat upon the throne of Zion, even so the true David, the real branch, shall come and shall sit upon the real Zion. This Zion we see is just a reflection of the Zion that is to come. Go back to the book of Luke, exactly where you left it.
Luke chapter 1, from verse 30 and 2.
Go ahead.
He shall be great.
He shall be great.
And shall be called the Son of the Highest.
And he shall be called the Son of the Highest.
And Elohim shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
And he shall receive the throne of his father David.
And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever.
And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever.
And of his kingdom.
And of his kingdom.
There shall be no end.
There shall be no end. Which verse is that?
Verse 30 and 4.
Go ahead.
Then said Mary.
Listen at what Miriam will say.
Unto the angel.
When Miriam heard these wonderful things, she turned around and said to the angel, what?
How shall this be?
She said, how will all this happen?
Seeing I know not a man.
That is the woman's seed. She says, how will this happen? How will I conceive and bring forth a son, seeing that I know no man? For the people that are saying, no, it was not an immaculate conception. Let me ask you one thing. How did Adam come into this world?
It's a question.
If it is impossible, how did Adam come into this world?
Osmosis.
How did Adam
Is it ancomosis or osmosis?
come into this world? For all of us who say it is impossible, what do you mean it is impossible?
What do you know?
Mary said, how will these things be, seeing that I know not a man? So Mary is testifying, saying, behold, I have not known a man. How then can I be with a child? And that is why Isaiah said, behold, I will give you a sign. And this shall be something that we shall be amazed at. How a young virgin, untouched, undefiled, is now pregnant, but no man has ever touched her. That is the fulfillment of Genesis 3:15. I will put enmity between thee and thy seed and the seed of the woman. Yahushua is the seed of the woman. Why is it the seed of the woman? Because the woman carried her, but no man laid with her. That is why it is an immaculate conception. And that is how Yahushua came into this plane and even into this world. Because what you have to understand is, that's why the Bible says in the book of Corinthians that behold, the man is the head of the woman, which is correct. But Shaul said that we are all by the woman. We all came in this world through the woman.
That's right.
So Elohim had to find a way to enter into this realm and not breaking his own order and rules that he made. He could not breach it. Therefore, he had to come the natural way.
Legal entry.
The legal entry point to this earth is through the woman. So then, lo and behold, the Messiah came. Give me the book of Revelation. It's a bit long. I will touch it, but not now. So now, behold, the Messiah came. Now give me the book of Philippians 2 and 5 so that we may all understand. So a virgin shall conceive and bring forth a son. Philippians chapter 2 from verse 5.
Philippians chapter 2 from verse 5.
Listen to this.
Let this mind be in you,
Let this mind be in you,
which was also in Yahushua H'massiach,
which was also in Yahushua H'massiach.
who,
Listen, who,
being in the form of Elohim,
being in the form of Elohim,
thought it not robbery
he thought it not robbery
to be equal with
to
Elohim,
be equal with Elohim,
but made himself
but he made himself
of no reputation,
of no reputation at all,
and took upon him the form
and he took upon him the form
of a servant,
of a servant,
and was made in the likeness of men.
and he was made in the likeness, until verse 5, in the likeness of men.
Verse 8 is this.
And he was made in the likeness of men. So Elohim had to come into this world in order to save us from unrighteousness. He had to reveal himself in this world. And because he could not die, being a spirit, he had to take on something. He had to put on something. That is why the Bible says in the second book of Corinthians chapter 4, from verse 5 going downwards, the Bible said there is this treasure. He says there is this treasure. Give me 2 Corinthians. He says there is this treasure.
But where indeed?
But where is the treasure hidden?
That's the question.
2 Corinthians 4.
2 Corinthians chapter 4 from verse 5.
From verse 5, what does it say?
For we preach not ourselves.
For we preach not ourselves.
From verse 7.
From verse 7.
But we have this treasure.
He's saying, but we have this treasure where?
In earthen vessels.
In earthen vessel. Earthen simply means in earthly, in fleshly vessel, because the flesh is made from the earth. He's saying now we have this treasure, but it is hidden in earthly vessel. That is why when the Messiah was about to be crucified, behold, a prostitute woman came unto him, and she wept when she saw him. And then she had this treasure, she had this precious box called the alabaster box. And when she came to him, she broke the alabaster box, and behold, perfume came from it. And then she cleansed his feet with it. And the people said, why are you allowing this woman to break the alabaster box with a straw with precious ointment, which is only to break when she's about to be married, as a sign that she has kept herself. Now she broke the box. And the Messiah said, do you not know that she is doing this for my burial? The alabaster box has to be broken. Otherwise, that which is within it cannot be released.
Amen.
So there is this treasure in earthly vessel. Yahuwah was inside of that flesh. Let me go deeper so that you will understand it. Hebrews chapter 1. Or give me first Colossians chapter 1 verse 15. Then you will give me Hebrews chapter 1 verse 3.
Colossians chapter 1 from verse 15.
Go ahead.
Who is the image of the invisible Elohim?
Stop there. A lot of controversy in that statement which we have to explain. Read it again. Who is
the image?
The image
of the invisible Elohim.
How can that which is invisible have an image? If you are invisible and you stand before a mirror, what will you see?
No image.
Nothingness begets nothingness. If there is nothing in, nothing can come out. White plus white equals white. 0 plus 0 is 0.
Wow.
0, 0.
How then can Shaul say he is the image of the invisible? Atheists will say, that's why I hate this book.
Rubbish.
That's what they say. But you have to understand. Shaul said, he is the image of the invisible Elohim. Let me ask you a question. I know many of us, we like to lie. Oh, I had this dream and I saw God. And I'm like, oh. So Shaul says he's the image of the invisible one. And then when he came in the image of the invisible one, he said, no man has seen Elohim at any day.
Not even Moses.
That's right.
But as for you, I saw God sitting upon his throne. And he told me, sister, really?
I saw Jehovah God sitting on his throne.
They told me that.
Let me tell you something, dear brothers, dear sisters. When someone comes to you and said, I saw God.
Jehovah God. I saw Jehovah God sitting upon his throne. And he said unto me,
Just,
man of God,
just take your bag and just say, I have to go and pin. I know you want money. And then go and don't come back. For he is the image of the invisible Elohim. Go ahead.
The firstborn of every creature.
The firstborn of every creature. Now, because Elohim was invisible and we could not see him, he had to make himself visible. You cannot see Elohim in his natural form and even dare to survive. I know many of us are making that mistake. Even angels do not see him.
Moses.
I know many, listen, not even angels see him.
Never saw him.
There are at least 3 dimensions of difference between the 7th and the 10th dimension.
Our brother
Where he
down
is.
last week. That's right. They covered their faces.
For in the Hebrew tongue, the place where he dwelt is called the Arafat.
Hey,
The abyss of the Father.
the Arafat.
The Arafat.
Hey.
The abode and the dwelling place of the Ar or the Father.
I've learned something new.
And even the Malaks, there are 3 dimensions of space between them.
The 7th heaven.
Hey,
And then they're talking about the archangels, not even the lower ones.
Who are you? Amsterdam.
Who are you?
But as for you are seeing Elohim
From Amsterdam.
chilling in what's it called? Kamien.
Yeah, it is.
And not even eating kosher food. You are eating mossy meat.
the abominable.
You are swine's flesh.
I'm
And you are so greedy, you
Too much
put
pepper.
too much pepper.
Hey.
And you're like, and within that, you saw Elohim.
Whilst I was eating Jehovah God.
Wow. And then instead of telling the truth that I am sweating because of the pepper, you say I'm sweating because I saw Elohim.
Jehovah God.
These are the type of things we are experiencing in Amsterdam
That's right.
and in America and wherever these sons of men are.
Africa. South America.
Yes.
Wow.
Special ointment.
No man had seen Elohim at any given day. Not even his Malakim.
Wow. This man is big.
Not even his Malakim. They cannot contain him. He said, the heavens cannot contain me. That's why Isaiah said, and I saw his temple. Temple means the lower part of the garment.
That's right.
It was filling the heavens.
That's right. You are preaching.
Listen, his temple, the lower part of his garment, it was filling the heavens. So he's out of the dimension of the heaven. He cannot be contained within something.
He is who he is.
He made something.
I am.
And nothing can keep himself from him.
Please speak into the mic.
You know what it says? He shuts himself in the pavilion of darkness. Because people say darkness is infinite.
Yes.
Wow.
Darkness is infinite. He's hiding somewhere which we don't know. That is the Elohim that we are serving. So stop joking around when he gives you his word. If Elohim would come in his natural form, in this dimension, we all would die within a split second.
No space.
They even say if the listen, let me try to cause you to understand why he had to wrap himself in a container before he could come. The people, and even science said, if the sun comes even too close, for at least 1 degree, do you know what 1 degree is? For at least 1 degree. 1 degree is the difference between you having a fever and not having a fever. That is 1 degree. And they say if the sun was to come closer, even 1 degree, we would burn. Now, who made the sun? The Bible said, and his face was like the brightness of many suns. Enoch saw, and I saw someone sitting upon a throne, and it was like an unto fire within a fire.
Fire for fire.
It was like fire within a fire.
You haven't seen it.
So if Elohim who made the sun, and the sun is being carried by the phoenixes, if he made them, and the phoenixes are about to break, they have to bring coals every season to keep the sun burning, then who's the one who made it? Many of us, we think about hell. Oh, we will burn in hell. It is not natural fire that will cause hell to burn. If you have not been told. The Bible says, have you not heard? Have you not been told? He said, and because they made me angry, he said, my anger shall burn until the lowest part of hell. Have you heard that one before? The fire that will cause the people to burn forever is the incarnation of Elohim's anger embodied.
That's right. It said it in the book of Job as well.
That is why that fire will burn forever. Because he lives forever.
Of his nostrils. That's right. Wow.
So he gets so angry, his anger materializes in fire. And that fire consumes all the souls that were disobedient. That is the Elohim that we are serving.
Fire.
Including bush.
So if he was, listen, so if that Elohim, he stepped into our scene in his natural form, the Bible says the heavens cannot even contain him, let alone the earth that we are living.
And you want to build him a temple.
And then you want to build him a temple. You want to stand before him with sinful men or a sinful nature. The Malachim, not even the Malachim, the seraphims, they are above the Malachim. The seraphim, they close their eyes with wings. They close their faces with wings, for they cannot behold him. So because of that, he had to come and contain himself in a container that only he had made. That container was something else. And in that container, he came to deliver us. He came to save us.
Wow.
And that container, that is what we call the Son of Elohim. Why is it called the Son? Because that container was begotten. It had a beginning. Therefore, we call it Son. But the one that was in it was Elohim. Now listen to this verse. Listen to this verse. John 1:14. And then Corinthians 5:16. And after that one, I have 20 minutes to freestyle and toast some men.
Give us freestyle. After freestyle, I know you can freestyle.
after the doctrine has ended,
Rap,
now you can dance.
rap it.
For surely we must dance for at least 15 minutes.
We did read.
John 1
John 1
from verse 14.
from verse 14.
And the word was made
Listen,
flesh.
no, from before giving me 1:14, give me 1:1.
John 1:1. In the beginning
Hey, in the beginning,
was the word.
stop there, go to Genesis 1:1. People are, how can this guy play around with? I'm not playing around.
Are you a football?
That is why if you love the scriptures and if you accept it in its entirety, then you can get this type of result.
It will line up.
It will line up.
That's
The
right.
scripture will explain itself.
Amen.
But if you hate, you detest the Old Testament. The Old Testament is the root and the foundation.
Because you last swine flesh.
Because of Jehovah.
Someone made this very interesting statement and I was shocked. He said, you do not reject the stone out of which you are hewn.
Wow.
You cannot reject the stone out of which you are hewn.
Hey. That's amen.
Behold, the New Testament is hewn out of the Old.
That's right.
That was the alpha.
It is hewn, it is sharpened, it has received form from the Old. That is why Shaul, whenever he's speaking, he says, is it not written? He says, behold, for in the beginning, not Adam fell, but Eve fell through disobedience. He said, in the beginning.
And he's the Alpha.
And he is the Alpha
And the Omega.
and the Omega.
My God.
And then he said, I am the one who was.
That's right.
The one who is. And the one that is to come. So how can you love the thing that is to come, but reject the thing that was?
That's fine.
Listen, love the scriptures.
Amen.
Love it in its entirety.
That's right.
Love the old.
Trust
that. And then love the new.
That's right.
You cannot reject one and then think you can flow and freestyle. But if you reject the old, you have to sumo, as they say in Dutch. You have to mess around. As Shaul said, I have not come to you with enticing words of man's wisdom,
But in the power.
but I came in the power and the dunamis.
The power, the kratos.
The kratos.
My God.
Genesis 1:1, John 1:1, then John 1:14, then Corinthians 15.
Genesis
You have to
1:1.
love the scriptures.
Give us scriptures.
You have to love it.
We hear too much.
You have to love it.
And I slept and I saw.
You have to love
But
it.
what is written?
What is written? Did you know what I dreamt and I saw?
We have been dreaming all the time.
But is it really profitable for all men to hear? For all you Hebrews, we really just. I have to finish the doctrine.
Take your time. Take your time.
Finish
You are at
this.
home. You are at home. Take your time. That's written. Bring in power. Bring in power. Bring in
We have 3 more verses.
water.
And then
Water. Bring water.
we have 3 more verses.
He needs water.
So I have to finish the doctrine before I can speak to the Hebrews. We all claim to say we are Hebrews. But lo and behold, something that happened. I will say it so. First John. Or no, Genesis 1:1, then John 1:1, then John 1:14, then Corinthians.
Genesis 1:1.
Genesis 1:1.
In the beginning,
In the beginning,
Elohim created the heaven and earth.
Elohim, he created the heaven and the earth. John 1:1.
John 1:1. In the beginning
Behold, in the beginning
was the Word,
was the Word.
and the Word was with Elohim,
Listen, and the Word, it was with Elohim.
and the Word was Elohim.
And the Word was Elohim. Now give me verse 14.
Verse 14.
Go ahead. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim.
And the Word was made flesh.
Listen, and that same Word was made flesh.
And dwelt among us.
Wow. And it dwelt among us. How did it dwell among us? That is why there is a process. It could not have dwelt among us unless it became flesh first. Because the Word cannot dwell among us because we are not Word, we are men. Therefore, before it could live among men, the Word had to become flesh. Now that stage of becoming is what we call the Son. Is what we call the Son.
Again.
So now we see the Word became flesh and it dwelt among us. But it came to dwell among us for a particular mission and a particular purpose. Give me the book of Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 5. Beginning from verse 16. Don't forget, it had to become flesh to come and dwell among us. The flesh it became was nothing but a container. But it had a container but it was a container that could speak and it had its will. Just like you.
Please lift up the mic.
Just like you. You are a spirit. You have a soul. And you live in a body. But in Romans 15, Shaul is speaking about the consciousness of the flesh. If you study Romans, you will hear it. The consciousness of the flesh. So even also this flesh that he took on had a consciousness. That is why you can see the flesh on the mountain of Gethsemane weeping, saying, Father, Father, Abba, Abba, if it is possible, take away this cup from me.
Too much pain.
Too much suffering, too much pain. Too much suffering, too much pain. Why did he have to go through too much suffering and through too much pain? Should I touch on that? No. Corinthians 5:16.
2 Corinthians 5 verse
16.
Verse 16.
Listen at what it says.
Wherefore, henceforth know, we know man after the flesh.
That is why I love the scriptures. If you don't have understanding, you will ask, why does Paul make such a statement? That henceforth we know man after the flesh. If you read the book of Acts or John, it says the flesh it profited
nothing.
That's right. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
That's right.
And now Shaul is saying something very profound. He said, from now on, we know no man after the flesh. So we do not know the Messiah after the flesh. For that flesh, when it came, it was likened unto us. If you would slap it, it would cry. If you would kick it, it would break its leg. If you would pierce it, it would die. It was tangible. It was breakable. Like you and I. In the book of Hebrews, you don't have to go there. It says, seeing that his children were of flesh, it was of necessity that he also became.
That's right.
So that he may feel what we feel. He may go through what we could go through.
That's right.
That is why he's the mediator between man and Elohim.
That's right.
So whenever we are praying, we are saying, Father, behold, we are going through temptation.
That's right.
The Messiah would look and contemplate and say, I have gone through it. I know what you are feeling. That's why I can help you.
That's right.
He's not an unjust Elohim. Everything he's asking you to do, he had to do it himself also.
Amen.
And he did not do it in a godly state. But the Bible says in the book of Philippians, he thought not himself to be equal with Elohim, but he deprived himself of glory and power. And he came just like you and I came. He felt temptation that you felt temptation. For if he could not be tempted, why did Satan come tempting him? Have you ever asked yourself, no, the Messiah, he could not have been tempted. So you mean the scriptures are lying? For and Satan came tempting him. So he could have been tempted.
Did he pray in tongues?
There is no scriptural evidence for that one.
He said it was written.
There is no scriptural evidence to that one. Some people are so smart. They say, yeah, but on the mountain of transfiguration, when he was speaking to Moshe and Elijah, he was speaking in heavenly tongues. But let me ask you one thing. When Elohim spoke to John the Baptist in the river of Jordan, Elohim was a spirit. John the Baptist was a man. But how did John the Baptist understand Elohim? Elohim will speak to you in your own language. That's why in dreams, because I speak better English than I speak Dutch or than I speak my own language. Whenever a message comes, he will speak to me in English. Behold, there was a time when he would speak to me in another language, and I could not understand. And then I was like, what is going on?
What is happening?
And then I would pray and pray and pray. And then, Lord, behold, the same dream comes again.
Yeah.
But this time in the language you understand.
Sometimes.
So if even Elohim showed me that if I speak to you in another tongue you cannot understand, how will he speak to us in a heavenly language? Are we in heaven?
Hey.
Are we in heaven?
Punchlines.
Are we in heaven?
Not them. Not them.
2 Corinthians 5:16. Henceforth know we no man after the flesh. Referring to the body, referring to the physical embodiment of the Messiah. Henceforth know we no man after the flesh.
Yet now,
Listen, yet now,
henceforth know we him no more.
henceforth do we know him no more.
Therefore,
But if you do not know him, Yahushua prayed in John 17 and said, this is the true blessing, that they may know thee and he whom thou hast sent. But now he's saying that they, or that we should not know him. Who is he referring to? Go ahead.
therefore,
Listen, therefore,
if any man
listen, if any man,
be in Hamashiach,
listen, there's a reason why he did not say if any man be in Yahushua. There's a reason why he said if any man be in Hamashiach. Because the Hebrew or the Greek title or Hebrew title for Hamashiach means the anointed one.
Anointed.
Only he brought that title. Yahushua H'massiach. He said, being no soul, we do not know Hamashiach or the anointed one. That was the physical or the manly part of him.
Amen.
The physical embodiment. Go ahead.
therefore,
If
any man be in Hamashiach,
any man now then is in Hamashiach,
he is a new creature.
listen, he is a new creature.
All things are passed away.
All things they are passed away.
Behold,
Listen, behold,
all things
all things
are become new,
they are become new,
and all things are of Elohim,
they are of Elohim.
who have reconciled us.
Listen, this is key. If you never understood why Yahuwah Elohim had to reveal himself through the Messiah, why Yahuwah Elohim, the great and eternal spirit, had to take on flesh and come and save us, why Yahuwah Elohim had to die on the cross, shed his blood. Now you will understand. It says, for Yahuwah was in who?
Who had reconciled us to himself.
Yahuwah reconciled because we were in enmity with him when we committed transgression.
That's right.
The wall of separation was between us and our deliverance.
That's right.
So Yahuwah said, who shall I send? And there was none he could send. He said, therefore my own right hand brought me salvation. I will come to right hand for us to understand. He said, Yahuwah was in Hamashiach doing what?
And had given to us the ministry of reconciliation.
And he gave to us the ministers, the ministry of reconciliation. Go ahead.
To wit,
that
Elohim was in Hamashiach.
what is the role of the Messiah? To wit that Elohim was in
Hamashiach.
No. Elohim is Hamashiach.
Elohim was in Hamashiach.
Elohim was in Hamashiach. Doing what?
Reconciling the world unto himself.
Wow. What a shock. Wow.
The scriptures are preaching.
I'm not even preaching at all. I'm just giving direction.
This is the power.
This is the dunamis. The kratos. The power.
We have been following in churches.
To me. The Bible says to wit or to conclude or to the intent
that Elohim
was in Hamashiach,
reconciling the world,
and he was reconciling, he was saving the world
unto himself,
back to himself,
not imputing their trespasses,
and not imputing their trespasses
unto them,
and
had committed unto us,
and he committed to us
the world of reconciliation.
John 1:29. So Elohim was inside of the Messiah, reconciling us unto his own self. Reconciling us unto his own self. Go ahead, please.
John 1 from verse 20 and
verse
9.
29. Now John the Baptist, or Yahukanan, is in the river Jordan baptizing people because he was to wait there for the deliverer to come. And when he saw him, listen to what he said.
The next day,
John
saw Yahushua.
Yahukanan saw Yahushua
coming unto him.
He was coming unto him
and said,
listen at what Yahukanan says.
Behold.
He said, behold, listen.
The Lamb of Elohim.
The Lamb of Elohim.
Which taketh away.
The
sin of the world.
That is the role of Hamashiach. That is why we call him our Savior, our Deliverer. But the same Hamashiach came and he said The things that I do them not of myself. The Father who has sent me, He doeth these things. Therefore, all power and glory belong to Him. Therefore, He said, I have come in my Father's name. What does Yahushua mean? That's why you cannot have Jesus. It does not correlate to the Father's heavenly name.
What does Jesus mean?
What does Jesus mean? Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
The son of Zeus. That's what it means. But what does Yahushua mean? Ever wondered why when you are praying, you are praising Him? What do you say?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. What does hallelujah mean? It means praise ye Yah.
Wow.
So when He said, I have come in my Father's name, the Father's name is Yahuwah. Or to abbreviate it, it is Yah. That is why when you hear the Hebrew name of the Messiah, He is called Yahushua. In English it says, for He will save His people. Yahushua means Yahuwah is salvation. So when you are praying in the name of Yahushua, you are saying in the name of Yah, who is salvation.
He's saved.
That is what it means. The scriptures do not fight itself. When you have this knowledge, the gospel is sweet. Salvation is sweet. Praying is sweet. You understand the principles, the basic doctrine, which we all ought to have. But now we don't have it anymore. Now you only pray to Jesus. You pray to Jesus, but you don't know what you are saying. You are so confused that you praise the Father, then you praise the Son. I can't even say. Then you praise the Holy Ghost. Wow. If the Holy Ghost is the Holy Spirit, and the Bible says in John 4:27, Elohim is a spirit. So are there two spirits? So which one is the Holy? Is Elohim? Wow. No, it's the Holy Ghost. It's the Holy Spirit. So Elohim is also a spirit. So does that mean that Elohim is not a Holy Spirit? Wow. Be therefore holy. Even as your Father who's in heaven is holy. So He says, so I am a holy Elohim. Isaiah 44 says, I am the Holy One
Of Israel.
of Israel. So what are we discussing? Yahuwah Elohim. What are we discussing?
What are we talking about?
Shut down.
Ik begrijp het niet meer hoor.
What are we discussing?
Ik begrijp het niet.
So Yahuwah was in the Messiah, in that container, reconciling the world unto His own self. Now, to conclude, I'll bring you to the Old Testament because He made an interesting statement. I've showed you everything with the new. Now give me Isaiah. He says, for my own arm brought me salvation. What does He mean with my own arm brought me salvation? Give me the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 53 says, for who had believed
Our report.
our report?
Our report.
That is our question. Who had believed the simple preacher man's report? We are despised for nothing. We have never even asked you $1.
$1.
As the Ghanaians said. Or $1.
And we are rebellious.
But as for us then, we are rebellious.
We continue to rebel for the Messiah.
But we left our work. We left everything. We could have done something. I could have been somewhere, doing something, enjoying somewhere,
Enjoying someone.
But behold, behold, we are here. We are sweating in the studio. Young, capable men.
Friday night.
Filled with dinero. But we are here. We are sweating for Elohim.
Big boy man them.
Paul said, according to the way that they call heresy, so do we serve the Elohim fathers. He said, obeying all the laws and the commandments which are written. Do you know what that means?
Tell us.
They also said of Shaul, he was worshiping Elohim according to heresy. So it is okay.
And the same about the Messiah.
It is okay.
It is okay.
If you think we are committing heresies, no problem.
No problem.
But what does the scripture scripture say?
Ah.
Have we fought the scripture? Have we contradicted the scripture? I gave you more than 20 verses. All of them all in line. So sweet. They are all dancing with each other. And the angel that is standing behind every verse, he's saluting the other Malachi. He said, we are together.
Amen.
So what is life?
Tango.
So what is life?
Use dancing.
Tango.
So what is life?
Tango dance. We have 8 minutes, and then we will finish. I cannot take it.
Give me the book of Isaiah 53.
From verse 1.
From verse 1. He first said his own right hand brought him salvation. So now we will understand why Shaul said for the Messiah in the book of Colossians chapter 3. From verse 1, it says, if ye then be risen with H'massiach, seek those things which are above, even there where Yahushua is seated at the right hand side. Many think Elohim is sitting on the throne and the Messiah is sitting on the right hand side. And the Holy Spirit at the left. Whilst Yahushua himself said, those that are on his left, they shall be cast into hellfire. Will the Holy Spirit be cast into hellfire? Please. You have to understand the way that the Hebrews spoke of ancient time. In Proverbs, they will use the same thing, but they will use it as a symbology for you to understand. Right hand, because normally it is not usual for people to be left-handed. So left hand is considered the weaker hand. If you are standing on my left hand, it means you are standing on my weaker side. Just like you can say, the wife is the left hand of the man, whether you want to hear it or not. But he said, the Messiah standing on his right hand, standing on his hand of power.
That's right.
Why is he standing on his hand of power, and what does it mean? What is the arm of Elohim? Isaiah 53. Go ahead.
From verse 1.
From verse 1.
Who had believed
Who has believed
our report?
our report?
And to whom is the arm of Yahuwah revealed?
Wow. And to whom is the arm of Yahuwah revealed?
For he shall grow up.
Listen, now he's explaining the arm of Yahuwah. For he shall grow up. He. So does that mean the arm of Yahuwah is a person? Does that mean that, or is it not a physical arm? No, it's not. It's a he.
Right.
Go ahead.
For he shall grow up.
For he shall grow up
Before him.
before him
As a tender plant.
as a tender plant
And as a root.
and as a root
Out of a dry ground.
out of a dry ground. Go ahead.
He had no form.
He has no form,
Nor comeliness.
no comeliness.
And when we shall see him.
And when we shall see him,
There is no beauty.
there is no beauty
That we should desire
that
him.
we should desire him.
He is despised.
He is despised
And rejected.
and he's rejected. When he stood before the people and they put him and Barnabas,
They say who born though?
they said, whom will ye choose?
We choose
And the people
Barnabas.
said, we choose Barnabas. But as for him, crucify him. In Latin they say, saluvle.
Saluvle.
So they said, crucify him, but give us Barnabas. So he said, he was despised and rejected.
A
The
man
Bible
of
said in the book of John, behold, he came to his own. His own received him not. He was rejected. Go ahead.
A man of sorrow.
He was a man of sorrow
And acquainted with grief.
and acquainted with grief. If you ever think the Messiah was fat boned, he was skinny boned. He was, he said in the book of Psalms, I'm so skinny that they can count my bones. If you would lift up his shirt, you would see the bones of his stomach. He had no fat.
Because of fasting.
He was ever fasting, ever praying. Go ahead.
And we hid.
And we hid,
As it were, our faces from him.
as it were, our faces from him.
He was despised.
He was despised,
And we esteemed him not.
and we esteemed him not.
Surely
Listen, surely
he had borne our griefs.
He bore our griefs.
And carried our sorrows.
And he carried our sorrow. What did he do? Go ahead.
Yet we did esteem him stricken.
Yet we esteemed him stricken.
Smitten of Elohim.
And smitten of Elohim.
And afflicted.
And afflicted.
But he was wounded.
Listen. They will pierce me. They will look upon me whom they have pierced. He said he was wounded
for our transgression.
For our transgression.
He was bruised.
He was bruised
for our iniquities.
Not for himself, for our iniquities.
The chastisement of our peace.
The chastisement was of our peace. If today you are a believer and you are living in peace, if I can enjoy my mercy and whatever, because he bore our sins, he bore our mistakes, he bore our pain.
Amen.
That is what the Messiah came to do. That is what Elohim did through him. He is the right hand of Elohim. When he says, my own right hand brought me salvation, it meant he took on the seed of Jesse. He entered into it. And what entered into it was Elohim. But the flesh that was manifested was the Son. That's why when he came to Philip, he said, have you been with me all this time? But you do not understand. He who has seen me has seen the Father. And why have you seen the Father? Because he's the image of the invisible Elohim.
Amen.
Still his own arm.
That is who we are serving. That is who we are serving. That is why in the book of Revelation, there are no 2 or 3 thrones. There is one throne.
But one.
The one seated on it is Yahuwah Elohim.
Amen.
The Alpha. He said he's the Alpha and the Omega. We have 1 more minute left.
1 minute.
Give me very quickly Revelation 22:13, and then Isaiah 44:6, where he makes the same declaration, and then we are done.
Revelations from 22 verse 14.
What does the Messiah say?
Blessed are they.
Go ahead, read a bit faster, huh?
I, Yahushua,
Yahushua,
have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things.
Go ahead.
In the church.
Go ahead.
I am the root.
I am the root.
And the offspring of David.
And the offspring of David according to the flesh. Go ahead.
And the bright and morning star.
And I'm the bright and morning star.
And the spirit. And the bride say, come.
Come.
And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst
Revelation 22:13.
Revelation 22 verse 13.
Go ahead.
I am Alpha.
I am Alpha
and Omega.
That is the Messiah speaking. Now give me Isaiah 44:6. Then we are done. The Messiah saying, I am Alpha and I am Omega. Why? Because the Bible said through him all the things that were in the world were created. But Genesis 1 says Elohim created it through him. Isaiah 44 verse 6, then we are done.
Isaiah 44 verse 6.
What does he say?
Thus saith Yahuwah.
Thus does Yahuwah say.
The King of Israel and his Redeemer.
Go ahead.
Yahuwah of hosts. I am the first.
I am the first.
And I am the last.
And I am the last.
Beside me there is no Elohim.
And besides me there is no Elohim. Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah your Elohim. He is one. He was in Hamashiach, reconciling us unto him. Shalom.